Hello friends, welcome back to Positive Approach. This is Nitesh Bhardwaj. Today we are going to discuss about our third chapter. Chapter name is Vector of Unit 2, Kinematics. Here, first of all, we will discuss about some key point of this chapter vector which are very important. So I suggest you to write down all these notes, all these key point, and after this key point we will discuss some example of some numerical of this chapter vector. So without wasting any time, let's start. Our first key point is what is scalar quantity? Those quantity which have magnitude but no direction. For example, length. For example, length, mass, volume. These quantity are called scalar quantity which have magnitude but no direction. And our second quantity, physical quantity is vector. What is vector quantity? Those physical quantity which have magnitude as well as direction. For example, velocity, acceleration, force, and many more. This is about scalar and vector quantity, and vector can be denoted by this sign. This arrow sign, the vector can be denoted by this arrow sign. Now vector are of two types. Our first type is polar vector. First vector is polar vector, and our second vector is axial vector. Axial vector. What is polar vector? Any vector which start from a point which have any physical quantity or any vector representing the physical quantity such as velocity, force, momentum, etc. originate from a point. Those vector which originate from a point is known as polar vector. For example, velocity, force, momentum, etc. These are all polar vector. And what is axial vector? Axial vector are no vector which do not have in point application. For example, this vector, this is any circular plane, and this vector arises due to its axis of rotation. Due to its axis of rotation. For example, torque, angular momentum. This axial vector rotation effect produced by them. This vector produce axial rotation. This vector produce rotational effect. This is all about polar vector and axial vector. I hope these points are clear to you. Our next vector is equal vector. What is equal vector? Equal vector are those vectors which are equal in magnitude and direction, which have same magnitude and same direction. And equal vector, a vector move parallel to itself. For example, let this is be a vector and this will be a B vector. Both are parallel to each other and equal in size, then A and B vector are called equal vector. These vectors are called equal vector. Now our next vector is co-initial vector. Co-initial vector are those two vectors which have same initial point. For example, let A be a vector from this point and let B be the another vector. Both the vector originate from this point. These vectors are called co-initial vector. And what is negative vector? Any vector which is opposite in direction. For example, let this will be a vector and a vector which is opposite in direction. A vector which is opposite in direction is called its negative vector and denoted by minus of a vector. This is all about this vector. Our next vector is, which are very important, resultant vector. What is a resultant vector? Any vector which produce same effect as the individual vector produced together. For example, let this will be a vector A, another vector, this will be a vector B. Then the resultant vector will be this vector. C is known as their resultant vector, and the value of C here, let it will be P, Q and R. Then the resultant vector R square is equal to vector P square plus vector Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This is very important formulas. I suggest you to write down all these key points and this formula in your rough notebook, or you may take the screenshot of this video. Now next our key point is addition of vector obey commutative law. Addition of vector, for example, vector A plus vector B is equal to vector B plus vector A. Addition of vector obeys commutative law. For a physical quantity to be vector, it is necessary that it must obey commutative law. Any physical quantity which is vective, any physical quantity, let A be any physical quantity, and it will be vector if and only if it have magnitude, it have direction, and also it must obey commutative law. It must obey commutative law, because there are some other physical quantity which have direction as well as magnitude, but they are not vector. So here another condition for a vector is have magnitude, direction, and also must obey commutative law. Must obey commutative law. Our next key point is magnitude of resultant of two vector P and Q is maximum when two vector act as in same direction. Let P and Q be the two vector, they have maximum resultant vector. Maximum resultant vector if these two vector are in same direction, and minimum, this resultant is minimum only when these two vector are in opposite direction. Two vector which have maximum resultant if and only if both the vector are in same direction, and have minimum resultant if the vector are in opposite direction. Our next key point is vector having zero magnitude called zero or null vector. Zero vector is also called null vector and is denoted by this zero. There is no sense of direction in zero vector, that is there is no direction in zero vector. Our next key point is subtraction of vector does not obey commutative law. If there is subtraction of vector, for example, A minus B vector cannot equal to B minus A vector, because subtraction does not obey commutative law. There are some other properties which are very important. For example, if vector A plus vector B is equal to vector A minus vector B, this happened if and only if vector B is equal to 0. Then it is possible that vector A plus vector B is equal to vector A minus vector B if and only if B must be 0. And our second property is if magnitude of A plus B vector is equal to magnitude of A minus B vector. This happened only when vector A and B are right angle to each other. A plus B magnitude is equal to magnitude of A and minus B. This only happened when A and B are right angle to each other. That is, the angle between them is of 90 degree. I hope this is clear to you. Our next key point is vector can add to another vector of same nature only. Let vector V here is the velocity vector. This vector can add to the another vector of same nature. That is, this vector added to the another velocity vector. The velocity vector does not add to any force vector, any displacement vector, or etc. So this property tells us about a vector which can add to another vector is of the same property. Our next key point is flying of a bird is the example of composition of a vector. Flying of a bird is the example of which type of vector? The flying of a bird is an example of composition of a vector. Now we discuss about unit vector. Let A be any vector, then the unit vector denoted by A cap, this sign. Unit of a vector A, let A cap denoted by this sign. The unit of a vector is equal to vector A divided by magnitude of A, and the unit of any vector, unit vector of any vector is always equal to 1. It is always equal to 1. And the magnitude of unit vector is always equal to 1. Unit vector has no unit. Unit vector of any vector has no unit. There is no dimension. There is no dimension of unit vector. And the another key point of unit vector is unit vector always tell the direction of a vector. It always tell about direction of vector. This is all about unit vector. Now our next key point, as we earlier discussed, the resultant vector R is equal to p square plus vector q square plus 2pq cos theta. Then here the direction of the vector is given by this formula, let tangent alpha, where alpha is the angle between p and q, is equal to b sin theta divided by vector a plus vector b cos theta. These formula are very important because this formula used in many numericals. Our next key point is angle between two equal vectors is 0. As we earlier discussed, what are the equal vectors? Two vectors which are parallel to each other. Two vectors which are parallel to each other are called equal vectors which have same direction and same magnitude. So the angle between the two equal vectors is always equal to 0, and the angle between negative vector is 180 degree. Because let this will be a vector A, this will be a vector A, and a vector B is negative to this vector A, which is opposite in direction with negative sign. So there is an angle of 180 degree between the negative vector. Here B is the negative vector of A, so there is an angle of 180 degree. Now we discuss some other key points which are very important for examination point of view. Our next key point is maximum resultant of two vector is given by, maximum resultant of two vector is always given by magnitude of A plus magnitude of B, and minimum resultant of a vector is always given by magnitude of A minus magnitude of B. Our next key point, minimum number of vector in a plane to give zero resultant. Minimum number of vector in a plane which give zero resultant are 2. There are two vector in a plane which give zero resultant. And if a vector are coplanar, if vector are coplanar, keep in mind, if vector are coplanar, then there are 3 zero resultant vector. And if vector are non-coplanar, then the minimum number of vector whose resultant is 0 is 4. I repeat again, minimum number of vector in a plane which have zero resultant are 2. Minimum number of vector in a coplanar, those vector which are coplanar, and there are 3 zero resultant vector. And if a vector are not coplanar, no coplanar, then the minimum number of zero resultant vector are 4. Now this is all about the key points of this chapter vector. Now let's do some numerical which are very important and based upon these formulas. What is our first numerical? Our first numerical is, if a particle has a displacement of 12 meter toward east, if a particle has a displacement of 12 meter toward east, let this will be the sides, this will be east, this will be west, this side is north, and this is south. Okay, the particle has displacement of 12 meter toward east. Let toward it, this is 12 meter, and 5 meter toward the north, 5 meter toward north, and 6 meter vertically upward. Let 5 meter toward north, this is 5 meter, and 6 meter vertically upward. 6 meter vertically upward, this is 6 meter vertical upward. Let this point here O, this point here P, this here Q, and this here R. And find the magnitude of the sum of this displacement. We have to find the magnitude of the sum of this displacement. First of all, we have to calculate the resultant vector of this vector P and Q. We have to calculate first of all this resultant vector. Let this is denoted by S. This resultant vector is denoted by S, and we know that the formulas of S here, resultant vector of here is P square here 12 square plus Q square here 5 square plus 2PQ, 2 into 12 into 5 into cos theta, which is equal to 12 12s are 144 plus 5 5s are 25 plus 120 this is cos theta. Now this is vector S square, which is equal to magnitude of S square, which is equal to, where S is the resultant vector of this vector P and Q. We have to find the final magnitude of sum of these displacements. So first of all, we have to calculate this vector S, which is the resultant of vector P and Q. 169 plus 120 cos theta. Now this magnitude of vector S is equal to under root of 169 plus 120. Here theta is 90 degree. Then magnitude of S is equal to under root of 169, which is equal to 13. So this vector is, the vector S is the, which is the resultant vector of P and Q, is equal to 13. Now we have to calculate the total displacement of this vector. We have to calculate this. Let this vector denoted by T. Then the magnitude of T is equal to under root of this vector S, magnitude of S square, plus this vector R square, plus 2SR cos theta. Here theta is also 90 degree. Here theta is also 90 degrees. Then this is the resultant vector of all these displacement P, Q and R. Here first of all we have to calculate this PQ resultant, and after that PQR resultant, which is denoted by T. Then here T is equal to, here is S. What is the value of S here? 13. 13 square plus R here 6 square plus 2 into 13 into 6 cos 90. Cos 90 is equal to 0, which is equal to, and this value under the root. 13 13s are 169 plus 6 6 are 36 under the root, which is equal to 563 910 10 205 under the root. Now this is our vector T, which is equal to 205 under the root, and this value is approximately equal to 14 point something. This value is approximately equal to 14 point something. This is the final magnitude of sum of these displacement 12, 5 and 6 meter. I hope this numerical is clear to you. Here we use the formula of resultant parallelogram of resultant. The formula is, if magnitude of R square is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This formula used here. Now our next numerical is, find the resultant of two vector, one 6 Newton due to east and the other is 8 Newton due north. Find the resultant of two forces. Here two forces are, let first force is denoted by A, which is equal to 6N, and the second force B, which is equal to 8N. And the one force is toward east and the other force is toward north. Then the angle between them here is theta is equal to 90 degree, because north and east are at a right angle to each other. Then the resultant vector here is equal to 6 square plus 8 square plus 2 multiply 6 multiply 8 cos 90 degree, which is equal to under the root. Here 6 6 are 36 plus 8 8 are 64 under the root, because here cos 90 is 0 and 0 multiplied by this equal to 0, which is equal to under root of 100, which is equal to 10. This is the resultant force. Here 10 Newton is the resultant force of the vector A and B. I hope this numerical is also clear to you. Very easy numerical. This numerical also based upon this resultant formula. Our next question is, on a certain day, rain was falling vertically with speed of 30 meter per second. If wind starts blowing with the speed of 10 meter per second in the direction from north to south, let this is north, this is south, this is east, this is west. These are all our four sides. Okay. Now what question asked to us? He said that question asked to us, rain was falling vertically with the speed of 30 meter per. Rain falling vertically with the speed of 30 meter per second vertically downward. Let this vector will be P. If wind start blowing with the speed of 10 meter per second in the direction from north to south, wind flowing with the speed of 10 meter per second, let this vector will be Q. Then the vector Q here is equal to 10 meter per second. We have to find the direction in which a boy should hold his umbrella. We have to calculate the direction of the umbrella. Let here will be the boy. Then we have to calculate this direction. We have to calculate the direction in which the boy should hold his umbrella. Let we join this point P and Q, this point, let this point will be O. Now in right angle triangle, as you see here in right angle triangle, POQ, tangent of theta is equal to, tangent of theta, we know that the tangent theta perpendicular upon base, which is equal to, here perpendicular is OQ, divided by, here base is PO, OP. Now here OQ is 10 and OP is 30 meter per second, which is equal to 1 upon 3, which is equal to, tangent theta is equal to 0.333. This is our exact answer. And now by using the table of tangent theta, we can easily calculate tangent theta at 0.333. This numerical is very easy, also clear to you. I hope this numerical is also clear to you. Our next and our last numerical is of this chapter. Consider two displacement, one of magnitude 3m and another 4m. Let vector A denote first displacement given by 3 meter and B denote our second displacement given by 4 meter, so that the displacement vector should combine to get a resultant displacement of magnet. The resultant vector is here is equal to 7 meter. Two vector displacement, one of magnitude 3m and another of 4m, so that how the displacement vector should combine to get a resultant displacement of magnitude of 7m. Here we have to calculate the value of theta. Now we know that the formula of resultant vector is always equal to 3 square plus 4 square plus 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4, and here angle cos theta under the root, which is equal to, here the value of resultant vector is 7, which is equal to 3 3s are 9 plus 16 plus 3 2s are 6, 6 4s are 24 cos theta under the root. Squaring both sides we get 49, which is equal to 25 plus 24 cos theta. Here 24 cos theta is equal to 49 minus 25 is equal to 24. This is implies cos theta is equal to 1. If cos theta is equal to 1, then theta is equal to 0 degree. So this is our answer. I hope this question, this numerical is also clear to you. So this is all about the vector, which is the third chapter of our second unit, kinematics. Thank you. Have a nice day.